Two girls in Glasgow City, both young and both pretty. Valerie lives on the west side, rally driving for a fast ride. That's her greatest pleasure. Plenty money for every day, need not work on a weekday. She enjoys her leisure. Ina lives in the East End, she's looking forward to the weekend. Has a drink on a Saturday, working hard on a weekday. Has a laugh at the tea break, has to work till payday. Different circumstances, is it really all finances? What does money matter? What does money matter?
Since leaving school, I've done quite a number of things. I trained as an actress, and all manner of things to do with the theatre. And I did a bit of modelling for a while. I've done all sorts of things, really.
When I left school, I felt I had to go out to make some money. And when I left, there was nothing. The world wasn't like my feet. Just sort of it was close. Just go out, get a job quick, and make some money, and that was it.
I don't have to work because I can rely on financial assistance from my parents. I had my first car when I was about 17. I've had about 3 cars since then. For my 21st, I got an E-Type Jaguar. Some money that my grandparents had put aside for me enabled me to buy the flat when I was 21. I bought it for around about £6,000, and now I would estimate its value at about £16,000. I had to redecorate the whole flat. Complete it probably cost me about £3,500–4,000 to do. Well, this is the blue room, mainly because it's got blue silk wallpaper. Of course, it's a lot different now from when I bought it. All the woodwork was stained very dark, and I think the white makes it a much airier, fresher room. This is the orange room. I like to have a nice, warm, comfortable room to sit in. For the dining room, I've built up a little platform to make it separate from the sitting area. Well, this is a bedroom, and when I came here, I was delighted to find that I had a lovely room to make into a very feminine sort of bedroom with pink and white, and make it as attractive as I could. I have another bedroom, actually, but it's really just a guest room, a spare room, mainly filled with tyres and equipment for the rally car at the minute. This is the kitchen, and it has been completely redesigned to make it a really good kitchen to work in. And as I enjoy cooking very much, and I'm in the kitchen a lot, I wanted to pay particular attention to this.
I've lived all my life in this council estate. It's about 5 miles from Glasgow. I live in the council flat with my parents, my brother and my sister. I've got one brother who works in England and another brother who's married. I share this bedroom with my sister, and there's 2 other bedrooms besides this one. This is a living room. And this is a kitchen. In the week I have to go up at 6:30. Some mornings when the alarm goes off, I just feel I just want to lie there. I've got to go up and go to work. When my sister's on her early shift, she's up at 4:30. My mother's an office cleaner, and she's already out of the house when I get up, and my dad gets up about the same time. Well, I leave the house about 7 o'clock. Some mornings it's really pelching down, you know, and it's mornings like that you just feel as if, you know, you'd like to turn back and get back to bed again. When I was 15, I was a carpet weaver for 4 years, and I went from there, and I was a typewriter assembler for about 3 years, and I'm now a cable former.
My day starts about 8:30 or 9. I don't like to lie in bed too long because there's plenty to do. But on the other hand, if I have been late at night or something, I can lie a bit longer, which is very nice. I have a lady who comes in about once a week to help me clean the place. Usually I just let her get on with it because she has her own routine of working things, and I usually just get in her way.
But perhaps we should clean out some of the glass things, because I noticed that they were, you know, with the dust, with the workmen outside and everything, it's getting a bit dusty there.
Well, I love collecting objects and glassware and things. Everywhere I go, I like to bring something back. You know, something non-touristy, something sort of attractive that will fit in with the flat. I enjoy getting out of Glasgow during the week, out into the countryside in the fresh air. I don't think I'd enjoy living in town so much if I didn't have the opportunity to get out and around the country.
How do you like this?
How would that be for your digestion? Not very good, actually.
Generally, I meet a friend for lunch once or twice a week. They know me in this restaurant. I like going to restaurants where I'm known because they give me good personal attention.
Dover sole, and I think I'll have some kebab, please. And we'd better have some wine. Red, white.
We have half an hour for our dinner. There's just time for a quick bite, sandwiches and a flask of tea. My job, some days it can be a bit boring, but the girls I work with, you know, the people I work with are really nice and quite happy. But the job itself can be boring.
Generally, a good meal in a really good restaurant would cost about £5 a head with wine.
Smells nice too.
Lovely, thank you. Something cool.
I stand all day at my job and it can be very tiring. Most of the time when I'm working, I'm thinking about weekend, holidays, mostly thinking of nice things.
My latest rally car is a Escort Mexico. I have to do most of my practicing during the week when the roads are quiet. I can't always find somebody to go with me because obviously most people work during the week. Every rally that you attend, there's a great deal of factory teams and things, and for the private entrant, it's a great deal more difficult to actually get the prizes. But I do enjoy competing against, well, the ladies as well as the men. It's nice to feel at the end of an event that perhaps you've beaten 40 gentlemen crews, although it perhaps doesn't please them very much. It gives you a nice feeling. My ambition would be really to become so good at rallying that I could make it my profession and actually get taken on by one of the big car firms to drive for them. But unfortunately, in common with most other rally drivers at the minute, it really just costs me money to do it. This is the latest thing I'm interested in. The kit of drums I bought bit by bit, and it cost me about £300 or so. I haven't really acquired very good technique yet, but I'm learning.
852.
Friday's payday. I know I'm looking at about £17. That's after tax and insurance. Then I've got to pay my union money and anybody else that I've borrowed from during the week. I give my mother about £5 a week. About £2.50 goes in train fares, bus fares, and I try and save about £5 a week. That leaves me with about £6 for clothes and entertainment and everything else. And it isn't enough because most weeks I've got something, usually a birthday comes up, a wedding, and that takes about £3 and £4 off you.
I'll take one of those chocolate biscuits when you're ready.
I save my money for shopping on the weekend, so I try and stay in during the week. I've got a colour telly, and we've all contributed towards it. And I think that's about our only luxury. We don't have a car, phone. My parents have never had a real holiday together.
No, I'm staying in.
Twice a week, it's a Wednesday and a Friday, I get into Glasgow, straight from work. And I work in a bar for some extra money. And I make £2.50 for 2 nights. I finish about 11 o'clock and I'm really tired. It means that I've been on my feet for about 15 hours. But at the end of it all, when you sort of look at what you've got left, it's not worth it. On the other hand, it's the only way to get money for holidays.
At weekends, I like to go down to the coast where some friends of mine have some yachts.
At the weekend, both my sister and I like to have a lie-in. We may lie to about 10, 11 o'clock. Then maybe go up and help mother with the housework.
I'm thinking of buying a boat myself because roads are getting so crowded nowadays that to be able to get out onto the open sea and have a bit of freedom and fresh air would be really very pleasant.
Saturday afternoons I go shopping with my boyfriend. I'd like to do more shopping and less window shopping. Some shops really charge high prices. Well, a dress would cost you, say, about £15. I've got to go somewhere else where I can get a dress for about £6, £7.
I don't enjoy shopping on a Saturday. I find it very crowded and busy, and I'm lucky in that I can do most of my shopping during the week.
I think we need to find something lovely for our Valerie. This one's actually made in Germany, but they've gone so far ahead because they use the best Swiss and French designers. This, I think, could be one.
I enjoy going to some place like this where I can choose what I want in comfort and in peace without being jostled or bustled by crowds.
I would...
You would look awfully nice in that.
There's your shoes, sir. I'm only man. Come in and get crippled now. I'm only man that'll cripple any lady within a fortnight. There's the blue. There's your suede. There's the red. Your man is in red and you'll know what to do if I get any more slippers there.
Mr. Rudolph is an old friend. He knows what clothes suit me and also what I like, of course. I have to be careful, though, because I could end up buying everything within sight.
I think is more useful to you. Yes. GB of Roma, 3-piece, 57 or 58 pounds.
I bought a pair of these sandals last week. You may have paid over £3. Believe me, I've only got about a dozen pair left. But I do not know you dunderhead. I said I've only got 3 pair left. That lady over there, side five, sold again. There you are, name's a pair to that lady.
My shoes I like to buy in London, mainly. I must have about 40 or so pairs here. I think it's really about time I had a clear out. I like clothes, and I'm lucky that I'm able to afford to buy quite a few. This dress is one of my favourites. It's silk and very, very comfortable and cool to wear. it was quite expensive. It would be probably about £70 or £80.
I know when I go to my wardrobe, I know exactly what I'm going for because I haven't got much to choose from, you know. This dress cost me £6. I've got about 3 pair of shoes and I usually pay about £6 for shoes.
I have all sorts of friends. Some of them are artistic, some of them not so. I like to mix with all sorts of different people from all different areas and parts of the town and parts of the world even. One of the disadvantages of being fairly wealthy is that it tends to cut you off from parts of the population, which I don't like, because I do like to get on with everybody. Quite often it's them that are suspicious of me, because they feel that their way of life perhaps isn't good enough or something for me, which is nonsense, really.
You know, own a bit of the Bonnie Clyde.
I believe that is happening.
Oh, are you seriously thinking of this?
You probably do quite well, actually. People are mad enough to
In America?
Right. Yes.
If you're looking for Regan in the sky.
A Saturday night, Jim and I, we usually go out to a lounge where there's a group and we meet our friends there. And I really enjoy it because I can leave, it's like leaving a bag of troubles behind you while leaving your work. You're in another world, it's a world of your own. You know, you're quite happy sitting there, enjoying the music, enjoying the company.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
On Sundays, I generally go out to visit my family. They live in the country, in a house which I'm very fond of. I was brought up in it. And it's a lovely house, about 100 years old. It looks a bit like a castle, but I've spent my whole life looking for secret passages and I've never found one yet. Often my friends come out on a Sunday as well, because round about the house there's lots of things to do. We have a tennis court in the grounds. I also have my own horse. I had a pony when I was very small, and I've been riding since as far back as I can remember, really.
Ah, that was lovely. There you are. He's all yours now.
I was probably better then than I am now. I don't ride very often, but I do enjoy just jogging about the countryside.
Thanks a lot.
Mostly Sunday I generally spend about the home. Jim sometimes comes round for Sunday dinner, and my brother comes round with his kids. My father, he can't be there as he's got to work on a Sunday, so he misses out. But there's always my sister, my brothers, my mother, Jim, the kids. We're all there on a Sunday having dinner. It's a sort of family tradition, Sunday dinner. At one time I did think it would be good to get away, get a flat of my own. But then when I thought about it, I felt as if just too close to my family, I would miss them too much if I left. I'm just quite happy where I am with them.
It's always isn't it?
There's nothing much to do on the estate, especially a Sunday. There's no pubs, no cafes, everything's shut. So usually we go for a walk in the local park. It would be nice to have a car. If we had a car, we could maybe go to the coast some days. Glasgow is surrounded by some beautiful countryside, but if we go away for the day on a Sunday, it would cost us about £3. By the time we pay our fare, which is about £1, by the time we pay for dinners, it's just far too expensive.
Which is really fairly hot for tremendous. We go through, we were through at Ely at this house we have, you know, East Coast, which is normally rather chilly.
We also have another smaller house on the east coast of Scotland, where we go quite often for long weekends or possibly for summer holidays.
It's like have malnutrition before you get to this house.
Oh, yeah, darling.
When I'm married, I'd like to have a house and a garden of our own. The house is opposite where I stay. I would really love one of them, but I don't think I'll ever have that. I'll probably end up with my mum in a council house, paying rents all my life. What with the price of houses now?
Valerie has a good time, plenty money, plenty pastimes. She's kinda lucky and her life seems a piece of cake. Ina's life seems such a drag, every weekend the same bag. But she's happy with her family and her friends at the coffee break. Different circumstances, is it really all finances? What does money matter? What does money matter?
The advantages of having money available can be great. It gives you a chance to do what you like, when you like, and it also means you can avoid doing the things you really don't like most of the time. But there are plenty of disadvantages as well. People perhaps don't take you seriously if you want to start doing something. For instance, with my drumming, they look upon you as if you were doing it for a sort of pleasant hobby. And not until they get to know you do they really take you seriously.
I would like to say that money doesn't matter, but money does. Money's really the main thing in life. You know, it'd be good to say, you know, I don't need money, I'm happy without money, but you do need money. Money would make you happy. No, I don't want to be rich, I don't want to be a millionaire, just enough to be comfortable. To me, life is work. You know, I do more work in my life than... The social side of my life is a routine. It's a routine as well as work. You feel, you know, you work all week, maybe at the weekend you go out and do something different, but you don't do the same things every week.
I do feel that perhaps having a sufficient amount of money has impeded my progress in certain things. For instance, I can take up something, and if I'm not making success at it, which I must admit I'm very bad, if I don't feel I'm doing well at it right away, I like to be able to be fairly good at it fairly quickly, which is probably slightly impatient of me, but I do feel that I might have been more, I might have stuck longer and done better at a lot of the things I have tried if I hadn't been able to fall back on the money that I have. If I'd been forced to earn my living doing this particular thing, whatever it may be, I might have done it a lot better, and that irritates me in a way. I don't like to think about that too often because it makes me feel rather guilty about that.
I work just as hard as anybody else that's got money, and I don't get enough for it. If I had a wee bit more, it would make my life a wee bit more enjoyable.
I don't feel especially lucky or anything because of my financial background. I feel it's entirely up to the individual to make what he or she can of their life. And I like to think I would have been the same sort of person, even if I hadn't had those advantages.
Different circumstances,